Yeah, what's up, folks? Conscious One coming at you. Man, let's see if I can keep this under 10 minutes. I got a few things to say. On my last video, you guys saw that I was out in the daytime. And let me tell you, boy, did I regret that. I'm never coming out in the daytime in New York City again. I end up actually going back home. And now I'm out again. So it was this incident that happened. I had picked up a gig red order. Was in traffic. Went all the way to this place with this order that paid $10.50 for 7 miles. I said, let me go ahead and do this order. So I was in traffic forever just to get there. All right, so that had me on edge. Then when I get to the location, I pull over to the location because gig drivers, we just follow our map and there we are. So when I get to the location, I get a phone call. I remember I said I wasn't gonna be answering phone calls, but for some reason I just gotta be that good old boy. You know what I mean? I just gotta be that good old boy. And I answered the phone, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Sometimes people that call you be off guard. You don't be in your right mind all the time. And so you getting out the car. You're trying to park the car. You're trying to make sure nobody hits your car. You trying to hold a bag of food, and somebody calls your phone. You're just not thinking. So I answer the phone. The lady's telling me where am I, and that I'm in the wrong place. Now this has happened before with maps. And so I was like, okay, well, basically, where am I supposed to go? And she says, you gotta go to this cross street. So I said, okay, well, let me get off the phone. And she just seems like she just wants to argue. And I'm like, okay, let me get off the phone so I can put the cross streets in my phone and get to the place. And so we hang up, and I get over to the cross streets where I am. And where I am, I don't even recognize what the hell is in interest to any building or anything. So I call her back like, look, I'm at the cross streets. Where's the entrance? She's like, there's two 150 streets. I'm like, what the hell is this broad talking about? She says, there's two 150 streets. Go here. No, where are you there? I say, ma'am, I said, what color is your building? This broad didn't even know the color of her freaking building. I said, is it a yellow building? She was like, no, look, there's 200. She just kept talking about there were two 150 streets, which totally got me just even more confused every time she said that, because I'm like, well, how the hell is there two 150 streets? Now, in New York, you can have a situation where you have a 150 street and a 150 place, stuff like that. I mean, the skit was like, this type of stuff make me think of Sky, I swear. Because these skits sometimes, they just be outrageous. It be really set up. It really do be seeming like sometimes that some kind of technology has taken over somebody's brain, because you can't get any cognitive, can't make any sense out of the situation sometimes when you just even dialoguing with a person and you're speaking perfect English to them and they're speaking perfect English to you, but somehow you still can't come to some conclusion. That usually means somebody's under some kind of mind control, right? And so this broad didn't even know the color of the building. If she had knew the color of her building, I was actually standing right in front of the building. So finally, I just hung up and said, I'm just going to call DoorDash. I called DoorDash, told them what happened. I had arrived on location. The customer calls me, tells me to go somewhere else. And now I'm somewhere else, and now she's getting upset, and I had to hang up on her because she was getting out of control. Okay, and so DoorDash called her, it basically, put me on hold, called this woman, and she probably, I don't know, maybe she cursed them out too, because she was pretty piping hot at me. And, DoorDash clicked back over. But before DoorDash clicked back over, I had texted her because I finally found the building she was talking about, because she was giving the name of the building like such and such manner, but you only can see the name of that building like in a certain area. And so I finally realized that where I was at first when I pulled up, I was at the right place. Had she not made that phone call to me and going crazy about my location, I would have actually showed up to her front door with no problems. See, the thing was that this pickup was from a Chick-fil-A, and it was a very busy Chick-fil-A. A lot of these people's orders are sitting there for a long time. And so God, God forbid whoever picks up that order is going to hear it from the customer and probably going to get a thumbs down. That's why I don't like Gig Black because Gig Black don't have your back. When you have McDonald's orders sitting up there for 20, 30 minutes and nobody wants to take that order, and then Gig Black finally decides, okay, we're going to go ahead and pay some driver, some idiot driver, $7, $8 to come pick up this order after we was only offering $2 or $3 on the order because the person didn't tip. Now the fries are cold, and Gig Black is trying to save its back and trying to using drivers to be expendable. They're taking you through the mud. You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, they don't have your back if somebody gives you a thumbs down. Now think about that. This is what Gig Black does. Gig Red don't do nothing like this. But I'm talking more about some stuff that Gig Red does later. Talk more about that later. But let me see. What the hell is this pulling up behind me? Oh, okay, never mind. But so Gig Black is dragging people through the mud and allowing people to give them low ratings, which could eventually lead to a deactivation if people keep giving you thumbs down. You have to be really careful with Gig Black. The only thing I can deal with Gig Black is, like I told y'all, with the Asian. But anyway, getting back to this woman, she was clearly out of her mind, and I texted her and said, before DoorDash clicked back over on the phone and got back to me about the situation to resolve the situation, I sent a text to the woman. I said, I was actually at your place the first time when you called me. I was there. And she texted me back and said, go to hell. I said, man, these women, they something else, man. These people are something else. You know, you know where they live, and they just treat you like shit. They don't have no fear. Even women, they have no fear of what no man could possibly do to them. Here in New York City, you can make somebody lose their job. You can make somebody get deactivated on their account. What if I had a wife? What if I had children to take care of? See, that's why I'm glad that I don't, because sometimes I feel like I'm a wife and children away from going over the edge and actually hurting somebody out here. Because I don't have nothing to lose like that, it doesn't, it really doesn't bother me, stuff like that. But anyway, Gig Red ended up still giving me that $10.50. And guess what? She didn't get her food. Had she had not called me, she would have got her food. So what it is that a lot of people in New York, I just got through listening to Element. Y'all want to check out Element because he had a new a talk thing yesterday. And if y'all can't find it, just let me know. I'll send it to you. But he had a new talk thing, Element. He was on the air with this, I think the guy was like 65. Element is like 30 or 29. And what happened to me today reminded me of what they were talking about, because basically the reason people are ordering off Gig Black and Gig Red so much is because they're tired of going to the stores. And the reason they're tired of going to the stores is because the stores have a lack of employees. And you end up, if you go to a Walmart, or even if you go to a small restaurant, you might be in line for 45, 50 minutes. And you're trying to get home. You already dealt with the traffic, and you're just trying to get home and relax. And you find yourself in the store trying to get one item. You're in there a whole hour. That's a whole hour of your life wasted. So people are like, look, I'd just rather order off Amazon or eBay. I'm willing to sacrifice and just wait a week to get a product than waste my time and go to these stores. But what's happening with people, they're working so hard. Remember, people are working more hours than ever. We're like the Chinese slaves now, the Americans. We're the new Chinese slaves now, guys. We're the new Chinese slaves. Overworked and underpaid, right? But again, get back to what I was saying. What's happening is people are so tired when they get off their job, and they don't want to go to the store. They don't want to deal with people. They don't want to be in nobody's face. They don't want to be wearing no mask. It's too much of a hassle now to go anywhere. So what it's forcing people to do is order and pay this money that they don't have, that, remember, they're going to try to get for free, right? Because they're broke, but they're too tired and they're too frustrated to go to the store and get the food themselves, and they're too tired to cook their own food. I mean, you got people probably tapping into their credit just to get a $20 hamburger delivered to their apartment, right? And so they're already upset. And so all they need is for one thing to go wrong to make them mad. And they're already mad. They're mad when they're ordering the food, when they're pushing the button on the app because they're getting charged up the ass for a goddamn hamburger, right? That they could have got for half that price had they just went down the street to the restaurant. Some of these people I order from are right across the street. People do not want to go out no more. You go to these stores that you cannot get good customer service. You can't get in and out of that store like you used to be able to do 10 years ago. So then this is pissed off. It's like a domino effect. And by the time one of the like gig black or gig red driver picks up this person's food, guess what? It's been sitting there a long time. You know why? Because there's so much traffic in New York that it just sits there. Well, at least in the daytime. That's another reason I can't work in the daytime. Because all I'm gonna run into is more angry, crazy people, just like that broad I just told y'all that story about. So that's what's going on. And people are spending their money on food that they don't have. So when they're spending this money that they don't have, they're gonna try to get it for free. And remember, guys, I'm talking about the average Americans here. When I deal with the Asians, when I deal with the Chinese, I don't have any problems with them. They have the money. Sometimes I have went the wrong way and been late, and they still be laughing and smiling and giving me thumbs up even when I get to their place. And that's another thing I want to mention about New York is it's so funny. You know, the other day I went to this high rise. You know, the Chinese have a lot of big high rises for these young students here in New York. And I'm telling you, the Chinese they're the only people that's happy in New York. They have a complete utopia, the Chinese. But the other day, the doorman sent me up, you know, to the wrong side of the building, you know, from a different side of the building because he was confused. Maybe the customer told him something different. So I ended up on an elevator going to somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. And when I went to this floor, they had all the doors open. I get, you know, the apartments weren't filled on that floor. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get to see what these young Chinese people are living in down here with these high-speed elevators and, you know, these smart buildings that they're in and this utopia that they got. And I kid you not, guys, those little rat holes, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. These high expensive buildings with these expensive technology, these little mouse holes that they live in. I said, this is where they live in? I mean, you can damn near see the bathroom, living room, bedroom, and a kitchen just from standing in a hallway at the front door. I said, wow. I said, so this ain't nothing but upscale, this is just an upscale project, right? Really, it's just an upscale jail cell. That's all it is. New York, like I told y'all before, New York, this place is built like a prison system. The apartment buildings are made to get people used to being in prison. I swear to God, this is what's going on. And when I leave this place, I would never forget how this is. This is like the way that everything is constructed is like a jail cell. And the way our reality is becoming, it's almost like life is starting to become like it don't even matter whether you're in jail or you living in New York in an apartment. It's really no different when you think about it. Remember, we just have an illusion of freedom because we get to pay our car insurance every month. And by the way, I'm paying $250 for liability. Okay, on a Lincoln Town car. let me move on. I don't want to start getting into my business, but y'all get what I'm saying. You know, we just have an illusion of freedom because I can get in this car and go a few miles and have to come right back home to get back up and do the same thing again the next day. That's just an illusion of freedom. You see, to me, if I had to live in New York for the rest of my life, to me it would be no different than going to jail. I'm telling y'all the truth. Let me see. I know I want to say some other stuff, but I know I want to say some other stuff, but I can't remember right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back at y'all if it come up later. But yeah, so this is what happened to me earlier, and I just said, oh, I'm never going back out in the daytime again. But yeah, people are frustrated, and you know, and one thing too I want to say about women. Been seeing a lot of crazy stuff going on with women, especially after taking this jab and stuff. You know, I think y'all see that report of that Chinese woman that tried to bite that man's face off on a train in China. Something, she was going through some marital problems. Women are getting very bold. They're getting too bold. That's why when y'all listen to Element, that broadcast they did the other day, the guy was talking about he walked into a bar and he was looking down at his drink. He wasn't even looking at nobody, and a woman asked him, "What the fuck are you looking at?" and tried to start a fight. When you got women trying to start a fight with grown men now, women have lost their place. They have no fear of what a man can do to them anymore. That's why when I hear about these crimes and all this stuff going on TV, whether it's real or not, it's not for me to give a fuck about. because the stuff that I'm seeing out here that women doing to men, it don't even make no sense. They have no fear of a man no more, and you guys know it. And it is not supposed to be like that. Not even the Bible. Even the Bible specifies that it's not that women are supposed to have a certain type of shame-faced in front of men. Women are challenging men to fights. And then it's crazy because they know the only reason they're doing that because they know they're gonna win in court, and all they gotta do is just start crying, and everybody's gonna take the woman's side. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And one more thing I want to tell you guys. And man, what was it? Um, I guess that's about it. I'm gonna have to wrap it up since I'm forgetting. But yeah, things are getting out of control, and yeah, I'm back in the Asian community right now because dealing with these Americans, I'm having too many problems with them. But yeah, these women seem to have no fear for men anymore. They, again, because they know they're gonna win. All you gotta do is this system is giving women an opportunity to play both sides. Now she gets to be the man and a woman, but she win. Which one is it? And now the man doesn't have it. Like he doesn't have any say on anything. Because then the woman can just start crying, and then everybody thinks it's the man's fault. I mean, it's just, man. It's blackmail, and I'm a black male, so I ain't trying to get blackmailed. But anyway, y'all, I might make a video. I know it was one more thing I want to tell you. I can't remember, but I'll talk about it later. All right, y'all. Peace.